Feels like a good night to get released, huh? SmackDown tonight in Memphis, Tennessee, as WWE is on the road to the Elimination Chamber on the same night that they eliminated Payroll. Several talents released. We'll talk about them tonight. Elimination Chamber qualifying matches. Jey Uso confronts Cody. Charlotte confronts Tiffany Stratton. And the return of Solo Sikoa. And he's once again targeted Cody Rhodes. I don't know, man. Are we headed towards something that I hope we are? Or is Triple H's creative falling off? Anyway, tonight we're drinking at the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. No snowflakes allowed. 2 old fashions tonight. When I get there, I want to know on this Friday night, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Friday Night SmackDown post show for February 7th, 2025. I am your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Friday evenings, wherever you may be. Friday Night SmackDown tonight. Another ho-hum show for WWE on Friday night. Another 3-hour SmackDown that I wasn't particularly thrilled with. I wasn't very excited about the happenings tonight. Again, coming out of the Royal Rumble, Raw was fine. Raw wasn't even that big of a show following the Royal Rumble. They set the stage nicely for the Elimination Chamber SmackDown a little bit more arduous to sit through, being that it is now the longer of the two shows. More of the same with Elimination Chamber qualifying matches, both on the men's and women's side of things. WWE brought back tonight Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa is back. We haven't seen him since he's lost the Ulafala. We haven't seen him since the Roman Reigns match on January 6th on the Netflix debut of Monday Night Raw. And at the end of the main event tonight, which was Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga, Solo Sikoa attacked Cody Rhodes, and the show went off the air with Solo Sikoa looking down at the WWE champion. Now, I know what everybody is thinking, because I thought the same thing as well. Please tell me we're not going back to that. Please tell me that we are done and over with Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa for the WWE Championship. Why would he be back for the WWE Championship when he doesn't even factor into anything regarding the WWE Championship? He wasn't on the road to the Royal Rumble. He wasn't in the Royal Rumble. He lost the Ulafala. He's no longer the tribal chief. What exactly are we doing here? What exactly are we doing? You know, I don't know what WrestleMania is going to end up looking like. Honestly, from me to you, because I've always been honest about every single thing I've ever discussed on this channel, on this platform, on this podcast. Always been upfront and honest with you. I'm not feeling the same excitement as I felt last year for WrestleMania. This year. I don't know what it is. It may be a little bit of an unfair statement to say so soon, as there is 2 months, more than 2 months, still left to go for WrestleMania. There's not one official match announced for WrestleMania. We are slowly starting to take the puzzle pieces and put them in with the rest of the puzzle. I'm not feeling that excitement yet. I don't know how we could. Drew McIntyre and the rumors of Drew McIntyre wrestling Damian Priest kind of kickstarted the discussion of, are we going to be all right this WrestleMania season? The first thing off my mind in regards to that question is, sure, I think we are. I think they have everybody back that they need. Roster's at full health. There's absolutely zero outside influence. Triple H is going to do what Triple H wants to do. It is all his. He has the keys to the kingdom. He opens the door, and that is his direction. I want to say I trust. And for the most part, I do. But I'm not really feeling the speculation right now. Again, we could be sitting here being led to bullshit. But from what we know, what we read, and what we have come up with as a community, I'm not excited. I'm not. The rumors are McIntyre and Damian Priest, Cody Rhodes and John Cena, Roman Reigns and CM Punk, and Seth Rollins in a triple threat match is the latest rumor. I'm not enthralled with that. I'm not. I don't like that at all. I especially don't like John Cena and Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. I mean, you could fucking kick rocks with that one. I mean, that is as boring of a main event as you could possibly come up with. That is a Vince McMahon level main event for WrestleMania. Oh, but John Cena deserves to win the title. He deserves to main event WrestleMania, JD. Sure. If you're a half-witted fucking idiot who wants to wrap up his biggest storyline in 4 months, by all means, go and do that. I'm not booking the fucking show. I'm only telling you exactly what it is that fans want. They don't want that. There are other options that fans want besides that. Cena should win his first match in 6 years before he goes and gets a championship. Which is still the direction that they could possibly go in. I am not excited about that at all. I don't like triple threat matches at WrestleMania. I think they're lazy. I much prefer a one-on-one, story-rich match with meaning and importance. Triple threat matches should be reserved for the rarest of circumstances. Needless to say, I'm not excited. So where exactly are we going with Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa? Because clearly they have a direction going into the Elimination Chamber. Cody's not really doing much of anything at the Elimination Chamber. He's got to wait for Jey Uso to choose Gunther, and then he has to wait to see who wins the Elimination Chamber. And by the names already in this chamber, there's only one guy I want to see win this match, and his name is CM Punk. I mean, they could do that. I would be okay with that. I really would be okay with that, because then that means we're going to get Rollins and Reigns. And both of those matches speak to me more than John Cena and Cody Rhodes. And then the triple threat match with Rollins, Reigns, and Punk. Those matches speak to me. Cody and Punk, Reigns and Rollins, Owens and Orton, Rhea and Bianca. Those matches speak to me, man. Those matches speak to me. Gunther and Jey Uso. Sheamus and Braun Breaker. So where exactly are we going? If Solo Sikoa is attacking Cody Rhodes, again, I don't know. I'm only making mere speculation here and discussion with everybody here live, 2,100 people on a Friday night. One would have to assume that The Rock, because of the family ties and the fact that Solo is being thrown out there for absolutely no rhyme or reason, there's no real story there, The Rock would almost have to be the reason why Solo Sikoa is out there attacking Cody Rhodes. A match with Solo and Cody for the WWE Championship would almost be a layup for Solo Sikoa to be working on Cody so that The Rock could pick apart whatever's left. Maybe? I don't know. Does The Rock enter the Elimination Chamber? Does he take out somebody? Does he just say, fuck it? I want Cody. No matter who you have win the chamber, I'm getting Cody. So figure out something else. And we're back to 2024 all over again. I mean, there are legitimately zero human beings that are invested in another Solo Sikoa going after the WWE Championship situation. So when it boils down to it, the reason why we saw what we saw tonight, it almost has to be The Rock. Otherwise, why would it be happening? Who's going to save him? Who's going to save him? Who's going to come to his defense? John Cena's in the chamber. Punk's in the chamber. Who's going to come to his defense, and where does it lead? Because it looks like to me they're setting up a WWE Championship match for Cody Rhodes at the Elimination Chamber. I don't know why they would be going to Toronto and sell out the fucking Rogers Center with 45,000 people and then not have your WWE Champion on the show. It almost speaks as if it's The Rock. Again, mere speculation. Mere speculation. We've been given no choice but to book WrestleMania without The Rock's involvement. And if we're going to book the best WrestleMania card with what we got, and we're not going with The Rock, the way things are happening on television right now, the best match for Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania being that everybody else is tied up, is Cody and Punk. Cody Rhodes and CM Punk for the WWE Championship. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, one-on-one with the rich lore and the history that those men have. Seeing that it was the way that it was last year, and it bled into this year with Reigns and Rollins. Those would be your two big matches. Then we go to Jey and Gunther. Then we go Rhea Bianca. Then we go Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. Sheamus versus Gunther. Fill in the rest of the card as you see fit. That's the only thing that makes sense right now. Drew McIntyre, I don't know where Drew McIntyre goes. I really don't. I'd have him against Roman Reigns as a serious contender for that match. But clearly they're going in one direction, and it's not Drew McIntyre. From what we see and what we've heard and what we read, it looks like Drew McIntyre should be one-on-one against LA Knight for whatever reason. I could get behind that if they build a proper story and some intrigue around it, but it doesn't really fit the vision and the mission statement of Drew McIntyre. I don't know. But tonight's happenings also just kind of make me feel that The Rock is not done with the WrestleMania plans yet. Otherwise, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Nobody wants to see Solo Sikoa WWE title on the line against Cody Rhodes. No, nobody, legitimately nobody wants to see that. They had a decent match on SmackDown. I believe that was last year at some point. October-ish, maybe. I think it was before Bad Blood. Nobody wants to see that again. Nobody. It might have been the debut. I want to say, was it the debut on? No, what was it? Fox season premiere, I think it was. Season premiere, I believe it was. Yeah. No, nobody wants to see that. We're just going to have to wait and see how it plays out, man. That's the first thing that I thought. That's the first thing that came to mind. So I know some of you in the chat are probably feeling the same way, honestly. Nobody wants to see it. Everybody's thinking The Rock. Where could it lead? What's the answer here? That's what I'm going with. Honestly, that's what I feel like is going to happen. We'll have to see how it plays out, but I got to shout my guy out here because he's in the fucking chat. Oh my goodness, we got a $100 super chat from my guy Lorgasmic. Agree with you 100%, JD, so I'm dropping another bomb. The only way I can get on board with Cena Cody is if Cena and Cody happens with Cody going full Homelander and absolutely eviscerates him and keeps the title. Yeah. Yeah. Again, even at that point, brother, I'm not into it. I'm not. I think Cena at this stage of his career, you know, the story is there. The story is to be told. I just don't think that Cena has it in him after what we've seen the last couple of outings from his in-ring performance. I don't think he's got that WrestleMania main event in him anymore. And I'm not risking WrestleMania 41 and the main event because we got to play out John Cena's story 4 months into his return in his final year. I don't care to see that so soon. Let him win his first match. There are still geeks on social media claiming that this is the proper way to go for WrestleMania. No, it's not. He's got to win his first match, and then we can start talking about him maybe entering the King of the Ring, maybe qualifying for Money in the Bank, maybe winning Money in the Bank, maybe winning Money in the Bank and getting a main event at SummerSlam for the world title. Who knows? Who knows? It may be Jey Uso and John Cena at SummerSlam. We don't know. Or you could do Cody and Cena at SummerSlam. Or Cena and Punk at SummerSlam. That would be a great way to cap off the summer, no? I appreciate you, Lorgasmic. Thank you so much for being here in the chat. We're going to talk about SmackDown tonight. We're going to talk about these releases. I'm not going to go over in depth the releases. I already have a video coming out tomorrow, so you guys are going to have to wait for my thoughts tomorrow. So we will definitely get into everything that is SmackDown tonight. I appreciate you all stopping by Friday night here on Off the Script for the SmackDown post show. I want to thank everybody for the unbelievable love you showered this guy right here on his day of birth yesterday. It's unbelievable, man, how the podcast continues to grow every single year. We're bigger, we're better, we're stronger, we're more viable. Every single year I'm doing this, man. We're on record right now. We're on track. I check the analytics every morning, man. We are on track to have the biggest February in the history of the channel. And our February last year was the biggest ever. One of our biggest months, period, ever. And we're on track to break it already. Thanks to you guys. It's crazy. So I want to thank you guys for sticking with me. I want to thank you guys for trusting me. I want to thank you guys for allowing me to do this, to make my dreams come true, to get where I want to be in life. All the good things that happened to me, it is all thanks to you guys. And there's literally no way for me to repay you guys because I'm here and you're there behind the other side of this camera. But I want to say, without you guys, this channel, this podcast is not where it is today without you. So thank you. The last 48 hours have been a little stressful. It has sucked me of a lot of the energy that I had this week. If you come across anything on social media, if you come across anybody speaking bullshit, clearly it is not true. Clearly. There's a lot of vindictive people out there, bro. A lot of vindictive people that want what we have and they can't have it. Everybody knows that I bust my ass. Everybody knows that I work my ass to the bone to give you guys the best content possible. This is not an easy job. If it was easy, everybody would be in the same position as I'm in right now. But if you guys come across anything and you see or smell bullshit from the other side of things, don't listen to it, don't acknowledge it, don't interact with it. It's absolute fucking garbage. And I want to make sure you guys are aware that what we got coming up is very special. And I'm planning to be a part of everything. And everybody knows, no matter what happens, no matter what we say here, man, it's amazing to me. I have people that have come to my meet and greets. You've physically seen hundreds of people come up to me, all shapes and sizes, all different colors, come up to me and tell me how much our platform and our podcast has helped them get through a difficult time in their life, or was there when they needed something the most to escape the harsh realities of life, or whatever's been plaguing them or bothering them. How many of you guys have met me in person at an HOG show or a meet and greet? Am I the vile, homophobic, misogynistic, racist, womanizer, cat fucker, whatever these people come up with? Am I any of these things? Have I exuded any of these things in person? The answer is no. 0. I've always been the most professional I've been in that setting, and I will continue to be the most professional in that setting. What I say on this platform, which is basically my pro wrestling opinion, in no way, shape, or form should define me as a human being. So if you come across any of this shit, call it out, move by it. If you want, call it out, because it's all bullshit. But I would say move past it and don't interact. These people are fucking mental. Every single one of them is mental. They seriously need to seek guidance or some sort of help. Just letting you guys know that. Make sure you guys go follow me on social media. It's a shit show on social media nowadays. At JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Super chats are open. If you guys want to get your support in via the super chat, I would greatly appreciate it. If you guys want to get some last-minute belated birthday love in, they will be open. We'll read your super chats at the end of the show. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes tonight on the SmackDown post. Go check out all the content. More coming this weekend. Everything you need is on the homepage. And tonight's show is sponsored by my great friends over at Z-Biotics. Use our unique link in the description. You're going to save 15% off your first order. Z-Biotics. Tonight's sponsor right here on Off the Script. Get into this SmackDown show. Want to start off with the releases. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select had you covered all night. Details behind the numerous WWE releases. Names were being filtered on social media throughout the 3-hour SmackDown tonight. Authors of Pain released from the WWE. Akam and Razor, no longer with the WWE. Sonya Deville, no longer with the WWE. Cedric Alexander, no longer with the WWE. Paul Ellering, no longer with the WWE. And Blair Davenport, no longer with World Wrestling Entertainment. All of these individuals, Sonya Deville is one of the big, it's probably the biggest name on this list. The most shocking to me is her name and Blair Davenport. Blair Davenport's name is ridiculous. The fact that Blair Davenport is on this list of names released is fucking ridiculous. Remember, there was a report, and he's got some really good shit that has gone out so far this year. Dr. Chris Featherstone of Sportskeeda. There was a report earlier in the year, around the beginning of January, where we just started hearing that SmackDown was being moved to 3 hours and the 3-hour format was going to be used to get a lot of the talent that hadn't had an opportunity on the 2-hour platform of SmackDown to get some in-ring time and develop a name for themselves, because they're going to need some more stars. They're going to need to create new stars, and the 3-hour show that is SmackDown is going to need some bodies and some names to hold the show up. And Blair Davenport's name was mentioned. Chat, how many matches has Blair Davenport had this year? 0. The answer is 0. I don't even think she wasn't even in the Royal Rumble. They moved her from NXT UK to the main roster without a single fucking plan. She hit NXT. She didn't really do much of anything down there either in Orlando. Then they moved her up to the main roster, and she had absolutely zero plan for herself. Or they had zero plan for her. She basically got thrown to the wolves. Wasn't even given an opportunity. The machine did not put anything behind her. So that, to me, is the most surprising name. Sonya Deville, you know, everybody knows exactly what Sonya Deville had to go through with that fucking creeper, that stalker that broke into her home and tried to kill her, or whatever the fuck he was trying to do. He had zip ties and fucking whatever. I mean, just a bizarre fucking weirdo that should not be walking amongst the other humans of this planet. She had to deal with that. She took time off for that. She came back. They didn't do anything with her. They didn't do anything with her. They put her in pure fusion, garbage, insomnia, Bed Bath, and Beyond, Crate and Barrel Collective. They didn't do anything with her. The whole makeup of the group was basically, how fast can you fall asleep during their matches? We'll talk about this a little bit more on tomorrow's Extra. I'm going to do a separate video on all this instead of getting into it tonight. Sonya's name is the biggest on the list. Blair Davenport is the most shocking because she definitely should have gotten at least an opportunity to prove herself, which she did not. And then the AOP. I mean, you want to look at that being a good thing for Karrion Kross? Absolutely. Absolutely. But AOP, in a division where they need solid tag teams, they could have been a great tag team to complement a War Raiders or a New Day, or maybe move them into another faction where they made a little bit more sense. They got brought back. They didn't do anything. They had zero impact on the show. And basically were the anchor that were both keeping Karrion Kross down. And now he's free. Again, we'll talk about this a little bit later. I got an extra coming out tomorrow on it, so look forward to that in the sub boxes. But WWE releasing talent tonight on Friday Night SmackDown during the show. Again, if you're upset by any of these names, it's fake outrage. You are not upset. You're not going to lose sleep over it. Everybody that's on this list, I swear to you, is going to be better off for it. They will be better off for it. Sonya could land on the Indies and kill it. Sonya could land in TNA. Blair Davenport can land in AEW. She could go on the Indies and kill it. Bea Priestley will be back. She'll be fun. She's going to land on her feet after 90 days. Don't worry about it. AOP, if they want to continue to wrestle, I'm sure somebody would be lucky to have them. Cedric Alexander, Tony Khan can complete his Hurt Business collection and put another toy on his shelf if he so wants to. Don't know how likely that is, being that Cedric's wife had a problem and a falling out with AEW. Big Swole. So I don't know. We'll definitely talk about this tomorrow on the podcast. We'll have a separate video out on all these names with a little bit more in-depth on the story that came out. I'm going to wait for more information to come out and be readily available. We'll discuss that tomorrow. SmackDown starts off with Jey Uso. Listen, I know everybody is still upset. I don't know why. I went over it as eloquently as I could, as descriptive and detailed as I could, as to why Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble should not bother anybody. Again, that's also a fake outrage. You're not upset that Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. You're not. So stop pretending to be. All these engagement merchants on social media, you're not upset. Go to bed. Go find the fucking hobby. Jey Uso, I get that WWE loves the entrance. I get it. But WWE, before we even get to WrestleMania, and before we get this guy his WrestleMania moment, WWE is going to burn the crowd. Maybe not the audience in attendance, because they're paying to be involved, and they're paying to feel the emotion. To sit there and spend all this money on this fucking company, charging up the ass for these ticket prices. WWE is going to burn out the viewing audience by overdoing the entrance. We don't need to see it every week. We don't need to see it twice a show. We don't need to see it twice in the same segment where it stops and then the crowd chants one more time and then Jey Uso runs it back to do more yeet. You're going to burn it out before we even get to the moment that will be WrestleMania. I get everybody loves a good theme. I get everybody loves a good entrance. I get everybody loves the energy that Jey Uso brings to the show. But when the entrance takes up the first 15 minutes of the show, and then you get Cody out there where he's got to get his shit in, It's a little ridiculous, man. It's a little ridiculous. Let's get on with it. Let's get these guys face to face with what really matters most, and that is the WWE title. And who's going to main event WrestleMania? So we got Jey's entrance. He got a very prolonged entrance. We did the one more time, just like we did on Monday. They hit the music one more time. He yeeted again. Jey said he had a hell of a week, and he got a lot of love from his family, his fans, and everyone in between throughout the week. Chance of you deserve it, you deserve it. Jey says he was there to pick a champion to main event WrestleMania with. He went to say he wanted to stand face-to-face with the WWE champion, and Cody Rhodes came to the ring. Cody made his entrance. He gets in the ring. He hugs Jey. Cody wrestled alongside Jey Uso at War Games with the OG Bloodline. Actually, no. I'm thinking CM Punk. He teamed with Jey Uso. He was the one who was responsible for bringing Jey Uso to Monday Night Raw, and he saved Jey Uso from the Bloodline when they were evil. Brought him over to Monday Night. Gave him his start, told him to be his own man, guided him, and he won the WWE Tag Team Championships with Cody Rhodes, did Jey Uso. So in the storied history of Jey Uso over the last 5 years, Cody Rhodes is a huge proponent of Jey Uso. Saved him and gave him his one shot as he walked away from his family and he had no one. So think about that. Cody says his hip is out of alignment and he needs fluid drained from his elbow, and doctors told him that this week. So Jey Uso is obviously out there wanting to talk about WrestleMania. Jey reminded Cody he has two choices to make. It's really one. He's not going to pick Cody Rhodes. He should, but he won't. So after Cody mentioned his elbow and his hip, Cody noted that his heart is full, though, because Jey won the Royal Rumble. I wonder how... I would assume that what Cody said is a shoot. Cody might have been banged up from that ladder match. I would not be shocked if both guys were banged up. Clearly, Kevin Owens showed you his scars tonight. Cody is definitely banged up after some of those spots he took. Holy shit. So I would not be shocked if he needed fluid drained from his elbow and he needs his hip realigned. Hopefully he's okay for WrestleMania. Cody said this is going to be Jey's WrestleMania, and he referenced how he and Jey had some drinks together in the past, some libations, he says. Cody mentioned how they could go to party on Beale Street. Cody got on with it and said he's going to have to win at WrestleMania. So if Jey chooses Cody, tonight is the very last night that they would be cordial together and have fun together. Jey and Cody shook hands, and out of nowhere, Jacob Fatu's music hit, and he walks down to the ring with Tama Tonga. Tonga did his usual, yeah, he did that. That's all he does now. That's all Tama Tonga's good for. That's exactly what he does. That's what he does. Fatu, he's got the microphone, and then he began talking and said last year Cody took that title from his family. As of now, Fatu said his family needs that title back. A little precursor here to what we got in the main event segment. His family needs that title back. Fatu said that took him to Mr. Uso, Jey, Mr. Yeet Man. Fatu said if there was anybody to bring the title back to the family, it sure as hell won't be Jey Uso. Uso then out of nowhere hits Tama Tonga with a super kick. Fatu hit Jey with a super kick. Fatu then attacked Cody. After Cody mentioned that he's got all these injuries, Fatu went for a hip attack, but Jey cut off Fatu with a super kick. Jey and Cody then double clothesline Fatu over the top rope as the bloodline, Fatu and Tama Tonga, retreated up the aisleway. So we got something that happened in the open of the show that had direct effect on the main event. And we got what we got in the main event, where it was Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga, and the return of Solo Sikoa in the main event. Jacob Fatu said that his family needs the title back. I don't think that Solo Sikoa was sent out there on his own by Jacob Fatu or Tama Tonga to correct what happened on January 6th. It would make complete sense, being that he lost everything. He lost the Ulafala, he lost his bloodline, he lost the title of tribal chief, that he's being sent out there, and he's now another henchman for The Rock, who's going to take over this faction of bloodline, because he is going to be the one to bring the title back to his family. And then obviously that would put him over. He is already over Roman. But that would absolutely put the kibosh on who is the real chief, the highest of chiefs in the family. It makes sense. Otherwise, Solo interjecting himself into another random feud with Cody Rhodes, and then Cody splits off and goes to wrestle Cena or Punk. It doesn't make any sense. None of that makes sense. So something has to happen there. Are we going to get a payoff? Are we going to get what we really should be getting at WrestleMania, which is Cody versus Rock? Is The Rock involved at all? Or is this WWE creative on the way to the Elimination Chamber a one-off before they move Cody on to Cena or CM Punk? I hope to God not. I don't know where that would go with Solo. I don't know why they would just throw Solo Sikoa randomly into a title match when, out of everybody on that roster, he deserves it the least. He lost. He deserves nothing. He wasn't even in the Royal Rumble. He had not one single second, nor did he have one single elimination to even hold a complaint with management on why he should be a contender for the World Championship. It doesn't make sense. Unless Solo gets a championship match, tries to take the title back from Cody because his family needs it, and then it's that moment where Jacob Fatu turns on Solo, and we get Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa at WrestleMania, and Cody goes off and does his own thing. Is that what we're looking at? And The Rock is not involved at all? I don't know. Something's got to give here. I just don't know exactly what it is yet. As far as this segment goes, very formulaic WWE segment. 15 minutes on two entrances. A promo that really went nowhere. Though the history between these two is there, the promo went nowhere because I don't think anybody believes Jey Uso is going to choose Cody Rhodes. He's not. He's going to choose Gunther. He's going to choose the World Heavyweight Championship, as he should. But it did set up the main event, and that's what we got coming out of the opening segment. Bianca Belair. She went one-on-one with Piper Niven. This was an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Outcome here was very predictable. I don't think anybody really predicted Piper Niven to take Bianca Belair out here and advance to the Chamber. Bianca Belair is at the forefront of possible opponents for Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. The other opponent for WrestleMania that is everybody's sentimental favorite is Io Sky. And by the looks of it, it doesn't look like Io is going to get a spot in the Elimination Chamber. We thought coming out of Monday Night Raw that maybe WWE could still change their plans. But everybody was under the assumption that we may be getting a last chance for the Elimination Chamber. I don't think WWE is even going to go and do that. I don't. Bianca Belair and Piper Niven, predictable. Winner was no doubt about it, Bianca Belair here. Belair went for the KOD early. Niven countered. Belair had control of the match. Niven takes back over and clotheslines Belair. Obviously over the top, and the assist goes to Belair's braid. Niven ran at Belair. Belair moved, and Niven stumbled to the outside. Belair against the LED board. Niven hits a big splash before landing a senton. And we go into a commercial break with Piper Niven in control. We come back from the break. Belair cross-bodied Niven from the top rope. She gets a 2 count on a near fall. Belair went for the KOD again for a second time, but Niven headbutted her way out of it. You know, the KOD on Piper Niven always looks impressive, but the way that WWE just kind of overdoes it, we've seen it so many times before. So the more you do it, the less impressive it becomes. But they tried, and they obviously ended that match tonight with that spot. Niven headbutted her way out of a second KOD attempt. Niven followed it up with a big boss man slam for a 2 count. She went for the senton. Belair moved, and Belair speared Piper. Belair's in a corner. Niven came at her with a cannonball and connected on it. Niven went to the top. Belair cut her off. Niven slammed Belair again and followed up with a Vader bomb off the second turnbuckle for a 2 count. Niven once again runs at Belair. Belair moved. Niven ran right into the ring post. Belair then got Niven up for a KOD for a 3rd attempt, and she finally hit it. And that was enough to get Bianca Belair the 1-2-3, and she advances into the Elimination Chamber, where right now Liv Morgan is in the Elimination Chamber alongside Bianca Belair. Those are the 2 ladies as of right now that are in the chamber. There was another women's match tonight with Alexa Bliss and Candice LeRae that was also an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Gee, I wonder who won that one. So after tonight, we got 3 women in the Elimination Chamber match. As we all suspect, Charlotte Flair will end up choosing Tiffany Stratton, and Rhea Ripley, more than likely her opponent, is going to come out of that women's Elimination Chamber. Decent match. Belair's always great. I think it's, it's something that resonates with a lot of people. Belair was at one point or another just kind of shoved down our throats, and there was just an overabundance of Bianca Belair on the show. Vince just ran her into the ground. It was the same tired shtick over and over with Bianca. Take nothing away from Bianca. She's one of the best in-ring talents that division has. And she's one of the biggest stars in all of women's wrestling, period. But I think it's now time to move Bianca back into the spotlight of that women's division, as I do think the tag team thing has held her back. I do think that she has done what she could for the tag team ranks and for the tag team championship. It's fine. She did what she had to do. She helped Naomi along the way. She got Jade Cargill started, which that storyline is still seeing a conclusion play out. But I do think that Bianca has a real chance to win the Elimination Chamber, and we get Rhea versus Bianca at WrestleMania, as that match is still one of the top matches that WWE could do in that entire division at their biggest show of the year. I lobbied for Jordynne Grace. I think Jordynne Grace could have been a dark horse Royal Rumble winner. Clearly that didn't happen. EO is everybody's sentimental favorite, but you got to look at Triple H's stance. He's got to go with the big money match. More than likely, he's going to go with the big money match. And EO, he obviously sees the reactions EO is getting. He sees the reactions online that EO is getting. He sees the work that EO is doing. There's always Queen of the Ring. There's always Money in the Bank. This is not it for EO. I do believe that Io could very well, if she doesn't factor into a WrestleMania Women's Championship match with Rhea Ripley, Io Sky winning a Queen of the Ring and Io Sky winning a Money in the Bank for the women is highly likely. So it's not the end. Does Io get a spot on WrestleMania? I don't know. But WWE, more than likely, for Vegas, is going to go with the biggest money match that they possibly can, and that right now, name value-wise, is Bianca Belair. And I don't think anybody should have a problem with that because Bianca has wrestled Sasha Banks at WrestleMania in a banger fucking match. Bianca has wrestled Becky at WrestleMania, banger match. We know what Rhea Ripley is capable of at WrestleMania. She wrestled Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, and that went down as one of the best women's matches in women's history. Never mind WWE history, women's history. So we know what these women are capable of at WrestleMania. It's not like it's going to be a bad match. It's going to be a match of the year candidate, no doubt about it. So I don't know why people would be complaining about it if we do end up getting that. But you got to look at it not only from a pro wrestling perspective, which you know Triple H knows these two women are going to go out there and kill it. It's going to be a match that WWE is going to do because it's the biggest match that they could possibly advertise. And if you don't understand that, maybe you should start learning how the business operates. You've been watching WWE long enough to know that WWE not only wants to do great pro wrestling, and they do, but they also need to make money, and it's also a business at the end of the day. And what's going to be the biggest attraction? Is it going to be Rhea and Io? Or is it going to be Rhea and Bianca? I think you guys know the answer to that question. Carmelo Hayes. He was in Nick Aldis' office. Aldis says Hayes will face a Raw superstar later in the show. Now, the transfer window is officially closed. I don't know why there's a Raw superstar on the show, but he said he spoke to Adam Pearce, and it just feels like he wants to continue to fuck with Carmelo Hayes for whatever reason. Now, Carmelo didn't trust Nick Aldis because we've been through this twice before, first with Braun Strowman, then with Damian Priest. So he didn't even want to see who Nick Aldis brought in to wrestle him tonight. But when he saw it was Akira Tozawa, he had a smile on his face and said, you know what? I could get behind this decision, man. I like this move. I'll see you out there. DIY in street clothes are out in the ring for a segment. Their theme music is fucking terrible, by the way. I don't know why, again, we changed their theme. Def Rebel was in the news. Sean Rossat and Fightful Select reported that Def Rebel and the theme music that is provided by Def Rebel is being heavily criticized by the active WWE roster. They are not a fan of what Def Rebel is producing. Get rid of them. I don't know how many times we got to say, just dump them. And hopefully this is their last contract. Hopefully it runs out very soon, honestly. The fact that they gave Finn Balor and the Judgment Day that awful theme was the straw that broke the camel's back. Goodbye. Seriously. So Def Rebel may be on their way out. DIY's theme music is utter garbage. They've went through like 4 theme song changes, and all of them have been terrible. So they're out there. Johnny Gargano led things off and told the crowd to give it up for he and Ciampa, the tag team champions. Gargano said they are the best tag team in the world. Ciampa said the chances of the Motor City Machine Guns ever holding their titles are now officially dead. Ciampa said it's a shame because they respect Motor City Machine Guns. And 11 years ago, the Machine Guns were their favorite tag team. Gargano and Ciampa told everyone to stand up. And surprisingly, a lot of people in the crowd, they actually did stand up. They didn't really do much of anything else, but they stood. Ciampa then asked for a moment of silence. And when he asked for a moment of silence, Pretty Dead's music hit. Oh, Deadly. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm just going off based off the crowd reaction. They came out, they got no reaction. Oh, that's wrong of me to say. Okay. I'm going to get canceled online. Why am I going to get canceled? Because I'm disrespecting the pro wrestlers. Oh, okay. So I can't call out what I see. I can't critique what I see on the show. That's a cancel culture thing. Because I can't say how I feel about a TV show, a scripted TV show at that. I can't do that. Oh, okay. Oh, people are going to be calling for my termination. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. We gotta play it safe. Pretty Deadly. Gotcha. Got you. Pretty Deadly. They come out. Elton Prince started talking in the aisleway and said it was important to remind DIY of the help Pretty Deadly gave them in recent months. Nick Aldis walked out with a microphone and said DIY is in no position to make demands. Aldis said Pretty Deadly will face DIY, and if Pretty Deadly wins, they will receive a tag team title shot. Aldis booked the match for right now. Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano were in street clothes. They weren't even in their ring gear. So we got to commercial break. And we're back with Pretty Deadly and DIY. This went 3 minutes. 3 minutes of TV time. If Pretty Deadly wins this non-title tag team match, they get a tag team title shot somewhere down the line. So, Kit Wilson's in there. Wilson stomped on Ciampa, sidewalk slammed Gargano to no reaction, by the way. No reaction. Elton Prince tagged in. Pretty Deadly hit a springboard code breaker on Gargano for a 2 count. Ciampa and Prince found themselves in the ring. And Ciampa landed a bunch of his offense on Elton Prince. Gargano pulled on Elton Prince's hair. And Ciampa tried to roll up Prince, but Prince rolled through and rolled Ciampa up for the win. Pretty Deadly beats DIY in a non-title match, and now they are the number 1 contenders for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Folks, you know, for all the people that claim I don't shit on WWE enough, how many times have we complained about WWE on this particular stream tonight? We complained about Jey Uso and the entrance being overdone, a little too much, a little excessive, right? Now we're going to complain about DIY and them losing a non-title match. We also complained about Solo Sikoa at the end of the show. So we complained in the first hour of this stream. We complained about 3 things tonight. I wonder if anybody's going to clip this show and put it on social media, because JD, all he does is glaze Triple H and glaze WWE, and he's only negative on AEW. Am I going to get any clips floating around on social media after tonight? Or are you guys going to remain very silent, like ghosts in the night? That's right, I won't see a fucking clip from this show on social media because it doesn't fit your fucking narrative. A tag team in a non-title match having to beat the champions to then get a tag team championship match at a later date screams Vince McMahon. Screams Vince McMahon. I would prefer this type of creative be left in the last administration. The fact that we still get this type of bullshit happening on the show is fucking lazy. And I don't like it. And nobody else does either. DIY as tag team champions should not be losing a non-title match so that some other schmuck bullshit team, 2 jobbers in this case, get a tag team title opportunity. This is what we now have to expect. Now, I'm sure it'll probably play into a storyline, and this will lead to a multi-man match of sorts. multi-tag team match of sorts, because you got all these teams involved. DIY, the Profits, Machine Guns, Los Garza, DIY. It is lazy creative. Pretty Deadly is ice cold. They get zero reaction when they're out there. And sadly, I'm a big Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa guy. You guys know how important they were to me during the black and gold era. The fact that they are out there and they don't really get much of a reaction either is quite concerning. The fact that neither of these teams got any reaction tonight, especially during this match, only means that the creative sucks. And if you book these four men with better creative and book something that actually had some sort of emotional tie-in from the fan base, then maybe we wouldn't be in the position that we're in right now. All this is four guys getting thrown out there because the creative team's got nothing else for them on the show. How about we fix the fucking tag team division and get some solid fucking competition out there instead of Pretty Deadly, who clearly has not worked out on the main roster? How many times are we going to try with these bums? How many times? They're a fine tag team. The gimmicks are not working. The vibe is just not working. The promos are just not working. Nobody buys into them. Nobody believes in them. So that when you throw them out there, you expect something else to happen, but all I hear is dead silence, indifference. And when you feel and hear indifference, that's death. Nobody cares at that point, and nobody will care. This was bad. This was a bad fucking segment and a bad creative direction for all four of these guys. DIY should not be losing to Pretty Deadly in street clothes in a Vince McMahon segment in the Triple H era. Garbage. Miz was shown backstage talking to Andrade. Andrade said he learned how to beat him last week and walked away. What are we doing with Andrade? Didn't we move Zelina Vega over to SmackDown? Yeah, let's get them back together, huh? Cody Rhodes walked in, and Miz asked Cody if he could believe the new crop of talent being disrespectful and all. Miz then laughably said that he'd always have Cody's back. Cody looked at him and said, Miz, I don't need you to have my back. Miz asked Cody if he'd still be Jey Uso's friend if Jey chooses Cody. Miz says that would be a hell of a story, and Cody looked concerned, and he walked away. Don't know what we're doing with The Miz. Again, like I say every week, The Miz is just there. He's just there. He exists. And nothing around The Miz feels important. Drew McIntyre, Jimmy Uso, a.k.a. Big Jim, and LA Knight, yeah. Promo here. Drew McIntyre is now officially on SmackDown. They made the announcement via social media. Drew McIntyre made his entrance. He stood in the ring with a microphone. It's good to see him back on television after the rumors that went around after the Royal Rumble. Drew says that he's back on Friday Night SmackDown. He noted how he went backstage and tore some things up after being eliminated and then drove home. McIntyre says he woke up the next day and asked himself, why is he so angry all the time? McIntyre said it was because he was the victim of a toxic work environment, which was raw. McIntyre says he can see clearly now because Aldis called him and told him Drew will be allowed to be Drew 100% on Friday Night SmackDown. McIntyre says he's on SmackDown and his first target is Cody Rhodes. McIntyre was interrupted by Big Jim, Jimmy Uso. Jimmy walked out with a microphone. Jimmy said every single week McIntyre keeps living in the past. Jimmy said nobody ever stole anything from McIntyre, and tonight Jimmy was there to earn a spot inside the men's chamber match. McIntyre said a couple of weeks ago he'd be angry about what he said, but he's cool now, Jey, which was funny. Everybody laughed. McIntyre said Jimmy and Jey are similar in every way, and perhaps Jimmy would be where Jey is if he just said yeet. If he said yeet first, maybe he'd be where main event Jey Uso is. Jimmy said tonight he needs to punch his ticket to WrestleMania, and he's ready to kick Drew's ass. Jimmy said, I'm going to WrestleMania, Oos. LA Knight, he comes out. He's got a microphone. LA Knight says he doesn't have any love for Jimmy because he's the reason he's not WWE champion. Nice little throwback there to when LA Knight and Roman Reigns wrestled in Saudi Arabia. Knight spoke into the camera about mental health and said it's okay to cry. Knight turned that into saying 3 promises in life: death, taxes, and Drew McIntyre crying like a damn baby. Knight used the phrase to describe Drew McIntyre. He said his new name should be Drew McIntyre. I legit LOL'd. I thought that was funny. LA Knight says he's going to give Jimmy and Drew something to cry about, dashing their WrestleMania hopes in the process. Knight said before he got to the ring, oh yeah, wait a minute. I forgot to get my stuff in. And Drew smiled as they focused the camera right on Drew when he said that. Knight stepped in the ring, and we get the triple threat match officially underway. The I forgot to get my stuff in was the news report that came out after the Royal Rumble that McIntyre was eliminated. The whole thing where Damian Priest and LA Knight, or Jey Uso, all 3 of these guys, they bumped into each other. When Damian Priest was the one to toss out Drew McIntyre, there was a little collision of sorts in the middle of the ring, which in turn the report said McIntyre had a problem with because the little miscommunication in the ring upon his elimination took away from McIntyre's elimination. The report read that McIntyre was upset because someone unnamed at the time, I thought it was Logan Paul, the report mentioned LA Knight after a 24-hour period. LA Knight had to get his stuff in. Now, I watched the clip back several times. I didn't really see what the big deal was. McIntyre also went on to, or the report said that McIntyre felt that his nothing WrestleMania match with Damian Priest was not the direction that he deserves going into WrestleMania. I do agree with that aspect of the report. I think McIntyre should be in something a little bit bigger, but here we are. I love the fact that WWE takes, even though, listen, this was a shoot. Whatever happened to McIntyre at the Royal Rumble, it was not a story. It was not some fabricated fucking, let's throw it out there because this is the plan. This was legit. McIntyre felt the way that he did. There was emotions. Things got heated. He went home. There was a report about it. He lets the week go by. He comes back to work. Everything is good to go. The difference between proper leadership and failed leadership in the other dump, the other show on TBS. 2 different worlds. If this was in the other place, McIntyre probably would have been suspended, or a fight would have broke out backstage where nobody would be talking about anything on air. It would be everything backstage. We'd get another brawl-out situation where everybody just sits idly by and they fucking twiddle their thumbs. Go figure it out, with Boss Man throwing his hands in the air. You see, over on this side of things, Triple H, fan the flames, proper leadership is respected. McIntyre comes back to work, does his job. They turn the dirt sheet story into a story on television and they poke fun at it. The sun rises tomorrow morning and we all move on like adults. Do you see the differences? I know I do. I love the fact that they turned it into a little thing tonight. A little jab in a promo. There was a little fisticuffs, a little worked shoot type of brawl between McIntyre and LA Knight tonight in this match. This was the best thing on the entire show. This was the match of the night, in my opinion. Very good triple threat match. Got 13 minutes of TV time. This should have main evented the show, to be quite honest with you. It was the best match of the night. So McIntyre's chopping down Jimmy. He went to go work on him while LA Knight was down in the corner. Jimmy came back with a Samoan drop. Knight broke up the pin on the Samoan drop. Jimmy then hopped back up, started chopping LA Knight. LA Knight came back with a pop-up slam that looked kind of sloppy. He lost control of Big Jim in midair and properly slammed him down a little too early. LA Knight ran into a headbutt from McIntyre, Glasgow kiss. McIntyre threw LA Knight and went back to Jimmy and suplexed him. McIntyre then Irish whipped Jimmy into a corner, big belly to belly on Knight across the ring. McIntyre smiling because he's getting to handle LA Knight the way that he wanted to in the Royal Rumble. Jimmy came back and threw McIntyre to the outside. Big Jim followed up with a big dive. LA Knight joined the two other guys on the outside and ran McIntyre's head into the commentary table over and over and over again. LA Knight then did the same thing to Jimmy. Knight stood on the top of the table and posed for everybody in attendance, and we go to another commercial break. McIntyre is chopping Jimmy upon return from the commercial break. He's on the top rope. Jimmy crotched McIntyre. LA Knight returned, cut Jimmy off while stomping on McIntyre. LA Knight then leapt to the top for his acrobatic superplex. McIntyre pulled himself up, who was in a tree of woe, and hit a German suplex on LA Knight, while LA Knight suplexed Big Jim. Great spot. Great spot. Chance of this is awesome. Knight and McIntyre trade chops. LA Knight DDT'd McIntyre. He goes to the top. He connects on his acrobatic elbow where he jumps from the second turnbuckle to the third and then elbow on McIntyre. Jimmy broke up the pin attempt. Jimmy then lifted LA Knight. Things ended up with Knight being spine busted by McIntyre for a near fall. McIntyre then set up for a Claymore kick. Jimmy super kicked McIntyre and clotheslined him over the top rope to the outside. I thought this was it. I thought that Jimmy Uso was going to the Elimination Chamber. I really did. Jimmy super kicked LA Knight. He went up top, landed the Uso splash. Referee counted 2, but McIntyre, who was on the outside, pulled the referee out of the ring and stopped the count. McIntyre was laid out on the commentary table again, and I thought again this was it. I thought McIntyre was out of it. Jimmy went for another splash on LA Knight, but Knight rolled Jimmy up for a 2 count. I thought LA Knight was going to the chamber and that they were going to fuck over McIntyre. LA Knight set up for a BFT on Jimmy. McIntyre claymored LA Knight, while LA Knight, as he came down off the claymore, BFT'd Jimmy Uso. This was a great ending. So just imagine LA Knight with the BFT on Jimmy Uso, claymore kick at the same time on LA Knight, and it inadvertently had LA Knight deliver the BFT. So it took out Jimmy while McIntyre took out Knight. He didn't have anything to worry about with Big Jim knocked out. 1, 2, 3, McIntyre pins LA Knight, and McIntyre goes on to the Elimination Chamber. The right move. WWE took what happened at the Rumble, made it into a thing tonight. McIntyre gets his revenge, and we move on, and everybody coexists on the same brand. Great match. Match of the night. Damian Priest. He was interviewed by Byron Saxton backstage. Braun Strowman walked in after Damian Priest was telling Byron Saxton that he's going to advance to the Elimination Chamber. Strowman had a problem with this because he told Priest he has to qualify for the Chamber next week, and it will be Priest versus him, Strowman, and Jacob Fatu. in a triple threat match. So Monday Night Raw is getting singles matches, and SmackDown is getting triple threat matches. Triple H loves his triple threat qualifiers. Triple H loves his triple threat tournaments. It's kind of formulaic. I don't like it. It's the same thing over and over again. It's like Triple H. You know what Triple H's cards are going to be before he even shows them. With some things, with some aspects on the show, he's settled into these, yeah, that's a Triple H thing. Why? I don't understand it. So that's going to be chaotic, man. That's going to be carnage next week. Priest, Strowman, and Fatu. I'm going with Priest to advance, being that McIntyre's involved. That's where we may get the beginning stages of McIntyre versus Priest. Priest did mention McIntyre in this promo and mentioned that he dumped him out over the top rope. So now he's got to meet him in the chamber. This is where we'll probably get the build for their WrestleMania match, which is rumored. This is where we'll get the build for that in Toronto, inside the chamber. Kevin Owens. They aired the video from Monday where Kevin Owens attacked Sami Zayn at the end of Monday Night Raw. Sami Zayn and CM Punk went one-on-one in a very good match to close the show. Punk advances to the chamber. Kevin Owens attacked Sami Zayn at the end of the show and delivered a package pile driver to Sami Zayn. Owens, he cut a promo in his car. This is the new Kevin Owens thing, cutting a promo via his mobile device in his rent-a-car. He talked about how much he and Zayn have been through throughout their entire lives, throughout their entire careers. Owens said the pain he suffered from his match at the Rumble might never go away. Look at these scars. He's pointing at his scar on his nose, over his eyebrow. And it's all Sami Zayn's fault. Owens said Zayn watched as Cody tried to end his career. For all we know, Cody was trying to end his life, he was about to go on and say, but he didn't say it. Sami did nothing. Owens then had to watch Sami Zayn in the Royal Rumble. And he watched as Sami Zayn came to the aid of Roman Reigns almost immediately while he was being taken out in the Rumble. But when it came to Kevin Owens, he did nothing. He did nothing to save Kevin Owens earlier. Owens went on to say Sami is a horrible friend, a disgusting human being, and he will never forgive him. Owens said he will make Sami Zayn pay. This was a great fucking promo. Short, sweet, gave you the reason why he's upset. Kevin Owens basically dipping into this manipulative fucking psychopath who has got this Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of mentality and attitude. One day, 1 week, he's good. The next day, you don't know what the fuck you're going to get. You don't know what Kevin Owens you're going to get. Could be plain everyday man Kevin Owens, or it could be fucking, he's going to snap and you're going to get psychotic Kevin Owens. This is the best Kevin Owens that we've gotten in a very long time. This may be the best Kevin Owens that we've gotten, period, on the main roster. Kevin Owens, by the way, who just signed a 5-year deal with the WWE. Sorry, AEW sickos. Kevin Steen will not be all elite. Good. You don't deserve him. And why would he go over there? To get lost in the shuffle and then wrestle and waste away on fucking Collision in front of 200,000 people. Great. 5 years with the WWE. Where are we getting Zayn and Owens, folks? Some people tend to believe that Zayn and Owens will be the WrestleMania match. Why would it be the WrestleMania match when they're both Canadian and Elimination Chamber's taking place in Canada? That's where we will see Randy Orton return. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton will be the one-on-one match at WrestleMania. Meanwhile, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will get the big Canadian pop in a great wrestling city like Toronto. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Psychotic Owens beating the shit out of Sami Zayn so much that we get the return of the Viper on March 1st, which will then bleed into WrestleMania. What Sami Zayn does at WrestleMania, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Don't know where we go. Maybe we get a tag team match. Maybe it's Zayn and Orton versus Owens and McIntyre. I don't know. Maybe that's what they do. I could see that. Being that they're on the same show now. I mean, they got the same fucking mentality. They got the same mindset, the same mission statement. They want to they want to right all the wrongs that have been done to them by management and by Cody and by Roman. We may not get Orton and Kevin Owens. What does Sami Zayn do at WrestleMania? I could see Zayn and Orton versus McIntyre and Owens. I would take that. And then we do Orton and Owens after all that. We'll see. We'll see. I thought this was a great promo. Kevin Owens is fucking great. One of the best storytellers in the entire industry is Kevin Owens. Carmelo Hayes. He made his entrance. He had a microphone. Melo said Tozawa looks like Cody Rhodes got left in the dryer too long. Melo said when in Memphis, they call Melo John Morant. The only difference between him and Morant is Melo would make the all-star team. How to get heat in the city that you're in. Just mention a major sports player from corresponding city. Carmelo Hayes and Akira Tozawa, folks. Listen. Here's another complaint, man. What are we up to, chat? 4 or 5 complaints, maybe? Again, I'd love to see this clipped. Oh, but JD doesn't shit on WWE, man. He's an AEW grifter, man. Why do we have Carmelo Hayes, who can't buy a win on Friday night? Why do we have Carmelo Hayes wrestling a competitive match against Akira Tozawa? Now, I need to say this. Tozawa is a great pro wrestler. He is. He is. Just go back and watch his Cruiserweight Classic stuff or his 205 Live stuff. Great. Tozawa has been presented as a goof, a geek, a loser. Nobody that anybody should really be paying attention to. The fans don't buy into him. He's nothing more than an enhancement guy, a jobber of sorts, but a great pro wrestler when asked to do such a thing. With the current Akira Tozawa character, why is Carmelo Hayes going 8 minutes with Tozawa? Don't you guys think this was just a little bit too competitive for Carmelo Hayes? At the end of this, I don't know why we did what we did here. I thought this would have had some implications to maybe get him off SmackDown and move him to Monday Night Raw. This went nowhere. This was just basically an 8-minute match to eat up a segment of TV time on Friday night for a 3-hour show, and it went legitimately nowhere. It had no end goal. It's not forwarding anything on TV. What did we accomplish here? That Carmelo Hayes went 8 minutes with Akira Tozawa. That's it. Tozawa jump-started the match, hit a crossbody on Melo. We go to commercial break. We come back from break. Melo was working on Tozawa's arm. Tozawa fired up, hits a DDT. He goes for a cover, he gets a 2 count. Tozawa went to the top. Melo moved and beat down Tozawa. Tozawa tore his shirt off. He went to the top. Melo cut him off. He landed a sunset flip from the top for a near fall. Then they trade roll-up attempts. Melo hit a clothesline. Springboard DDT. And then nothing but net for the 1, 2, 3. Carmelo then goes to the top rope and does the emote where he's digging the dirt and shoveling dirt. What the fuck does that mean? I would be careful if you're going to start using emotes like that. That's a quick way to get yourself buried. It's like a foreshadowing. Listen, I've ranted about Carmelo. He needs to be better off than where he is right now. I don't. What did this accomplish? An 8-minute match with Tozawa. What does this accomplish? Oh, I got to watch Carmelo Hayes wrestle. Great. Against a jobber who he should have beaten half the time. He emotes, and the segment goes off the air. And then right to the next segment. Tessitore said they reached out to Paul Heyman for an update on Roman Reigns' condition after what happened at the Royal Rumble with Seth Rollins' foot stomp. They couldn't get a hold of the wise man. Roman's health status is up in the air. They said on Monday that Roman's health status, whatever's revealed, will be at the discretion of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is off TV. And the reason why he's off TV is because if he's on TV, they would have to book him inside the Elimination Chamber. And they're not going to book him inside the Elimination Chamber because if he's in the chamber and he's not scheduled to win the chamber, then he would have to eat a pinfall and nobody is going to pin Roman Reigns, especially before WrestleMania. So there you got it. Why isn't Roman Reigns on TV? Why is Roman Reigns on yet another extended vacation on the road to WrestleMania? Because this is WWE's way of protecting the tribal chief. It's not that difficult to figure out, folks. R-Truth. This might have been the funniest segment of the show. R-Truth was shown with Tozawa. There was a referee, a female referee, who was escorting Tozawa to the back because he got beat up by Carmelo Hayes. R-Truth is there, says, "Ref, I got it. He's carrying him, got his arm around Tozawa. He sees Jey Uso. He yells out to Jey, "Hey, Jey!" He drops Tozawa right there on the floor. All you hear is splat as Tozawa falls to the floor. Truth called Jey King of the Ring. Jey Uso trying not to corpse here because of the sheer stupidity of how comical R-Truth is. He said, "Truth, I won the Royal Rumble, not the King of the Ring." And then Jey looks over at Tozawa. "Well, you got to go help your friend Tozawa." And then R-Truth says, "Oh, don't worry about him. He yeeted on himself." Again, Jey Uso trying not to corpse, laughing at R-Truth. Cody walked up and asked Jey what he's thinking about when it comes to WrestleMania. He tried so desperately to hide the fact that he wanted to burst out laughing. So he tried to get serious because it's Cody Rhodes. Jey says, "I want to challenge you at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship, but I also want to challenge Gunther because I know I could beat him, and him and I have unfinished business." And he just left it at that. Tag team main event coming up in a little bit. We got to get through Charlotte. And we got to get through our ad sponsor for tonight. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are sponsored by my great friends over at Z-Biotics. They were kind enough to send me a 6-pack of their pre-alcohol probiotic drink. Listen, man, I went out for my birthday last night. You know what I did? I popped a Z-Biotic because I knew when I woke up, if I didn't, I was going to have a rough morning, man. I wasn't going to get my shit done. So I popped one of these. You go out, do your thing, have a couple of adult beverages. You wake up the next morning feeling great. Your gym session scheduled as planned. Your workload gets done. Great job, man. I love it. Tonight's show is sponsored by my great friends tonight over at Z Biotics. I'm going to hit you guys with a couple of harsh truths today, man. We're getting older. It's basically all I got to say. We're getting older. You and me, we're getting older. We can't go out and party like we used to. We can't go out and drink like we were 23 years old. It's not going to happen anymore. We as adults have responsibilities. Every time you go out and drink that one drink and you wake up the next morning and you say, man, I shouldn't have had that last drink, you end up regretting it. How do you feel the next morning? You feel like complete garbage. You don't feel your best. You don't go to work. Sometimes you call out of work. You don't go to the gym. Your gym schedule gets all messed up. Us content creators, that one video that everybody's waiting for doesn't get done. I got a surefire way for you guys to go out and have some fun and still get your work done and feel great the next morning. And it's all because of Z Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink. You drink responsibly, you keep hydrated, you pop one of these before any of that happens, and you're going to be good to go, man. Your nights are going to be great, and your next day is going to be even greater. Z Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. And how it works, guys, is very simple. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It is this byproduct, not dehydration, that is to blame for your rough next day. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. So just remember to make Z Biotics your first drink of the night, and please drink responsibly, and you'll feel your very best tomorrow. So if you guys want to have yourself a couple of cold adult beverages and feel your very best tomorrow morning, make sure you choose Z Biotics. That's zbiotics.com. Use our unique link. I even pinned it at the top of the comment section down below and in the description of this very video. Make sure you use that to guide you where you guys need to be. 15% off your first order at checkout. And Z Biotics will even offer you a 100% money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied for any reason, they'll refund you your money, no questions asked. Once again, that's zbiotics.com. Use our unique link down below. And I want to thank them for, once again, sponsoring the podcast right here on Off the Script. Charlotte Flair. Oh, my goodness, man. Charlotte Flair. She is on Friday Night SmackDown. She made the tour of the islands this week. First on Raw to confront Rhea Ripley. Then I had to watch because there was no Tuesday Night Titans this week because Solid Monster fell ill. Had to watch NXT and see Charlotte on my TV for a second night in a row as she went down to NXT to go see Julia, the NXT Women's Champion. And now she's on Friday Night SmackDown here to get a closer look at Tiffany Stratton. Man, let me tell you something. You know, Charlotte and the promo on Monday was so bad that WWE has to realize that maybe having her win the Royal Rumble, come back and cut that promo, maybe that wasn't the right way to go about returning Charlotte Flair to WWE television. I would even go back before that. Even in the beginning stages of choosing a winner for the Women's Royal Rumble, Charlotte was not the outcome. Charlotte was not the winner. She shouldn't have been the winner. I would have never went with that. You're just inviting. You're just inviting everything that WWE is currently getting now with Charlotte Flair. They made it so easy for everybody just to hate her legitimately for all the wrong reasons. The promo was written and recited on Monday as if I had a bad year. 2024 took a lot out of me mentally. I worked hard to get back. Here I am. I won the Royal Rumble. Please respect me. Oh, Charlotte Flair. That's the type of promo they wanted. They thought her going out there, that's the best course of action. Nobody wanted it because all they remember is, I don't want her in the WrestleMania main event. We've been there, done that, seen it. I don't want it anymore. We want someone new. Like an Io or a Roxanne Perez or somebody. We didn't get that. It backfired. So then we go into tonight. She got booed out of the building on Monday. She got booed again here tonight. But the only difference is WWE tried to rectify what they did on Monday by her cutting a heartfelt speech on Monday. It didn't go as planned. And then this promo kind of addressed the heat that she got on Monday, but also at the same time tried to give a heartfelt promo. So I don't know what they were going for here. It almost felt like it was in between what we got on Monday and what we got tonight. I don't know what direction they thought they would be going in. Again, this promo just did not work. She's trying to reestablish her character. You can't bring this woman back, especially knowing what WWE knows about the fan base and how they feel about Charlotte Flair. You can't bring her back as a babyface, defiant and overcoming all the odds, when everyone knows she's a Flair and she gets everything handed to her. On what planet do you think that's going to work? There's not a single human being with a beating heart that is going to buy into that garbage. All you needed to do was have her come back and be a cocky bitch. I'm Ric Flair's daughter. I'm Charlotte Flair. I'm the best of the best of the best. I'm going to WrestleMania. Suck it, geeks. That's all they had to do. Nobody was ever going to buy into babyface Charlotte. Nobody gives a fuck about her coming back. Nobody gives a fuck about her divorce. Nobody gives a fuck about her rehabilitation. Nobody gives a shit. Tonight they tried to do half heel, half babyface. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. This did not work. This did not work whatsoever. At this point, I don't even know what would work for Charlotte Flair. All I know is the more that they keep botching this woman, having her go out there week after week after week and do what she's done so far, there's not one single person that's going to want to see her beat Tiffany Stratton, and WWE is making it very easy on themselves. There is no fucking way a creative team could look at what is going on right now and have Charlotte Flair walk out of WrestleMania with the WWE Women's Championship. There's no way. There's no way. Hi, Memphis. She asked the crowd if they loved her or hated her. They hate you, Charlotte. They don't like you. Nobody likes you. Charlotte said when people boo, she sees money. And it's okay because she lives rent-free in fans' lives. Really? You live rent-free in everybody's lives. This is rent nobody wants to pay, and rent people will willingly not pay so that they get evicted. They don't want anything to do with where Charlotte Flair lives at all. Charlotte said everyone is obsessed with everything Charlotte Flair. No, you're obsessed with hogging a division. You're obsessed with not sharing the spotlight with anybody else. Don't know why you need to be in the WrestleMania main event and Io Sky can't, or Roxanne Perez can't, or Bayley can, or somebody else. Why does it got to be Charlotte? She said she knows everyone thinks that she is better than everyone else. She asked if people thought she'd actually be gone for 14 months and not win the Royal Rumble. Yeah. Yes, I legitimately thought that. Charlotte called the other women in the Rumble unserious and said there was no way she was going over the top rope. I mean, I don't believe these words came out of her mouth. I mean, sure, it fits into her being a cocky heel, but I mean, holy fucking shit, man. Read the fucking room. Read the room. Every other woman in the Rumble was unserious. Stephanie Vaquer, unserious. Julia, unserious. Roxanne Perez, unserious, as she went 1 hour and 7 minutes in the Royal Rumble. Gee, man, that's what I would really call unserious. Jordan Grace, unserious. You fucking kidding me? Charlotte reminded everyone that she became the first two-time Women's Royal Rumble winner. She followed that up by talking about how she went to Monday and NXT earlier in the week, and tonight she wanted to see if Tiffy. And then the theme music hit. Stratton walked out into the ring. Crowd chanted Tiffy time. Stratton began by congratulating Charlotte and saying nobody is a bigger Charlotte Flair fan than herself. Tiffany said she wasn't sure if WWE could survive without Charlotte. Tiffany then went on to say she came along and ticket sales went up and WWE is hotter than it's ever been. Yeah, it's hotter than it's ever been and ticket sales went up, not because of Tiffany Stratton. Not because of Tiffany Stratton. Charlotte paused and asked Stratton if she said something. Charlotte then said, "Sweetheart, you speak when I say you can speak." Stratton came back and said, this gimmick is so tiresome, honestly. Stratton came back and said, she's always been compared to Charlotte as a Charlotte Flair wannabe. Stratton asked Charlotte to pick her for WrestleMania because then she'll be the one and only Tiffany Stratton. Is Tiffany Stratton compared to Charlotte Flair, or is Tiffany Stratton compared to Mariah May? Because I thought it was the latter. Have you guys heard anybody compare Tiffany Stratton to Charlotte Flair? I know I didn't. So Charlotte said she viewed Rhea Ripley as a child. And she looked at Tiffany Stratton as a child tonight, begging her to make her a star at WrestleMania. Charlotte said if Tiffany wants Charlotte to choose her, she's going to have to get on her hands and knees and beg. We did not get that. Nia Jax's music hits. She walks out with Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae is about to wrestle Alexa Bliss coming up. Nia Jax said the Blondie back and forth was cute and all, but Nia Jax is going to be the champion by the time WrestleMania comes around. Turns out next week we got Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship. Jax said if Charlotte wants to be a champion at Mania, she's going to have to go through Nia Jax. Alexa Bliss music hit. She got a huge reaction. She got a bigger reaction than Charlotte Flair did tonight. The women watched as Bliss got into the ring, and we had Alexa versus Candice LeRae up next. All I will say is this. More than likely, it's going to be Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton. I'm sure it's going to be a fine match. I'm sure Charlotte's going to go in there and work and bring Tiffany to a great match. But if WWE has their head on straight, they got their glasses all nicely snug to their eyeballs, and they got their fucking pocket protectors in their pencils right now, how WrestleMania should be. The way that it needs to be, and no other way should it be. Charlotte, in no way, shape, or form, should be going over Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania, winning the Women's Championship. You need to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to make a new star. Tiffany Stratton's cash-in, where she won the championship after cashing in Money in the Bank, was the beginning of a star-making performance. You want to solidify that star, and you want people to look at Tiffany Stratton as the next big thing in this era of women's wrestling. There is no fucking way she's going into WrestleMania or should go into WrestleMania and lose. Does anybody want to see a division led by Charlotte Flair again as we are tempting fate? As we revert back to the Vince era of a fucking women's division? Charlotte is going to bring back and drum up all of those feelings of dread, boredom, and Vince. because that's what he did. That's what he wanted. That's what he saw as women's wrestling. Instead of going with the youth, the much more over star, the one who needs it most, in Tiffany Stratton. Has there been one story that Charlotte Flair has been a part of that has been memorable, desirable, emotional as women's champion? Has Charlotte ever had a memorable championship reign? Has Charlotte ever had a story-driven title reign where we just wanted to see it continue? No. No on all accounts. Yet here we are tempting fate again. For what? To get her another 15th title reign so we can push her 2 more to break her father's record? Awful. Awful. I already see it now. You want to deduct points from WrestleMania? Have Charlotte win the women's championship against Tiffany Stratton. Go ahead. You thought the complaints about her winning the Royal Rumble were bad. Try it. I dare you. Alexa Bliss, she beats Candice LeRae to qualify for the Women's Elimination Chamber. She now finds herself in there with Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan. Bliss took control early, teased Sister Abigail. LeRae in control, got the upper hand here. She worked on Bliss's neck and Bliss's back. Bliss eventually tripped LeRae into the turnbuckle and went to the top. She went for Twisted Bliss, but LeRae cut her off. LeRae tried to set up a superplex, but Bliss knocked LeRae off. LeRae then went to the apron. Bliss followed her out there, and Bliss was planted face first. Commercial break. Came back from the commercial break. LeRae was working on Bliss's back in a submission. She ragdolled Alexa Bliss for a little bit. Bliss, anger, just showcasing here. She kind of transformed into this angry Alexa Bliss, slapping LeRae around a couple of times, some big shoulder tackles. From there, she hits a missile drop kick. She goes for a cover, gets a 2 count. LeRae rolled Bliss up out of nowhere, tried to get the advantage, 2 count only. She then ran at Bliss, and Bliss hit what Tessitore called the Abigail DDT. She teased Sister Abigail, which I thought she was going for. And then she kind of transitioned into what Andrade usually does with his DDT. His is called the Message. So this was like a Sister Abigail DDT type of combination. And that's basically what got her the win. 1, 2, 3, Alexa Bliss wins. If you are expecting Alexa Bliss to come back after 2 years of absence and be a much better professional wrestler than she was before, you are disappointed. This was typical Alexa Bliss. There was nothing mind-blowing. There was nothing that was going to blow you out of the water here. It was a 10-minute match on TV to get Alexa in the chamber, and that was basically all she wrote. What else do you want me to say? Alexa Bliss wins. Liv and Bianca join Alexa inside the women's chamber. Chelsea Green was interviewed by Byron Saxton. Next week, Green will face Naomi in a qualifying match. B-Fab and Michin walked in. Michin said Chelsea Green might not be champion soon. Zelina Vega then came through and said it might be time she gets a title shot at Green's U.S. title as well. Great. I guess this is what the Women's United States Championship is used for, to give the likes of Zelina and Michin an opportunity at a title, being that they don't really constitute, they don't really give off the vibe of a women's world champion. This is exactly who the title was created for. I just wish that they created the title instead of just throwing random matches out there with women who are not over. I would like some story. We've got nothing with these women's mid-card titles. Zero. I don't know how you expect me or anybody else to care. Chelsea Green versus Michin, great. Oh, man, we've seen it 3 times already. I can't wait to see it for that 4th time. Oh, man, Chelsea Green versus Zelina Vega. Oh, man, I can't wait, man. We're gonna relive some classic United States Championship matches from back in the old school era of WCW. I can't wait. No, but they fired Blair Davenport and Sonya Deville. Street Profits. This was one of the best things on the entire show. Street Profits vignette aired and footage from their interference at the Royal Rumble was shown. Dawkins, as he stood on a crutch, said DIY's days are numbered. Dawkins was all fired up here, showing the passion. Montez says, I like it, the passion. He says they didn't like all these strangers coming in and people essentially just teaming up for the hell of it. Ford says they want the tag team titles. They basically said that this is their division and they want the smoke. Dawkins threw the crutch. There was some epic kind of music over this. They wore all black. You see, this is the type of shit that I came for. See, this is the proper change for the Street Profits. This. Angrier, more volatile. I don't know if they're going to go heel. They'll probably come off cool more than anything. And people will buy into them because they're believable guys. But this is exactly what needed to be done. You see, I made the correlation on the other side with the Acclaimed, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster. Instead of breaking them up, see, this is the direction that they should have went in as well. Instead of breaking up a solid tag team, all they needed was a fresh coat of paint. This is exactly what the Street Profits needed, a fresh coat of paint. No more red Solo cups, no more dancing, no more fucking, baby face. They want what they want. They're going to do what they have to do, and they're going to get those titles back. I like it. This was the second best thing on the entire show, this segment. Great. The Motor City Machine Guns. They were interviewed in the locker room, and Alex Shelley challenged the Profits to step up. Garza walked in. Los Garza, that is. And Berto says it's time for new teams to step up. Yeah, I would love for new teams to step up. I just wish that these teams were over. Nobody seems to be buying into them. Shelley started firing back, and Santos Escobar walked in. Escobar said the Street Profits started everything by attacking them for no reason. Escobar said next week it will be Los Garza versus the Motor City Machine Guns. Should be a great match. I just don't know how many people will end up caring. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. Tag team match here against Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. Main event. This was set up in the open as Jacob Fatu claimed that his family needs the WWE title back. So we got an attack on Cody and Jey, which then led to Cody and Jey attacking Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga, which is how we got here tonight. So Cody and Tama Tonga started the match. Fatu tagged himself in almost immediately, challenged Cody to come on in. Fatu hit Cody a few times. Then we go to commercial break. Fatu had the upper hand on Cody. Tama Tonga tagged in. Cody started fighting back. Tonga went for a splash. Cody moved. Hot tag to Jey Uso. Jey came in, worked over Tama Tonga. Big hip attack. He goes for a cover off the hip attack. He gets a 2 count. Jey hit a pop-up neckbreaker cutter. And then things broke down here with Fatu coming on in and super kicking Jey. Tonga, he is in the ring. Big clothesline on Jey for a 2. Fatu tagged in and knocked Cody off the apron to take him out as they now double team Jey Uso. Fatu lifted Jey and tagged in Tama Tonga. Springboard splash on Jey. Tonga and Jey clotheslined each other. Double down. Cody gets a hot tag. Fatu tags in. Cody hits the disaster kick. Drop down punch. He landed a Cody cutter. He goes for recovery. Gets a 1 count on Jacob Fatu. Cody sets up for Crossroads. Fatu worked out of it. Tagged in Tama Tonga. Planted Cody. 2 count. Cody went to the top. Fatu pushed Cody off the top. Tonga executed his jumping DDT. He goes for recovery, gets a 2 count. Fatu again super kick Cody. Ran the ropes. Jey cut off Fatu. super kicked him to the outside. Cody hits Crossroads on Tama Tonga, of course. Who would it be? Jacob Fatu taking the pinfall? Of course not. It's going to be Tama Tonga. Cody Rhodes with Crossroads on Tama Tonga. And he gets the 1, 2, 3. As Cody gets his hand raised in victory, Solo Sikoa, wearing a hoodie, shows up. Attacked Cody, gave Cody the Samoan spike. And Solo Sikoa returns to Friday Night SmackDown. And that is the way the show goes off the air. So we got the return of Solo Sikoa after Jacob Fatu said that his family needs the WWE Championship back. Now, I don't know how else you would introduce him to the fold. You just can't have him come back and just pretend nothing happened. He's got to come back and make a statement. He lost to Ulafala. He lost the Tribal Chief title. He lost to Roman Reigns. What is he going to do? Come back and say, hey, guys, I'm sorry. Have Fatu attack him, kick him out. They've been running with Fatu solo. This is his fucking group now, right? It's just him and Tonga. It would be too quick to see the split play out between Fatu and Solo Sikoa. So they introduce him back in a defiant, dominating way. He goes and targets Cody Rhodes. The WWE Championship, obviously still wanted by the family. They want that back because they feel like now that they got the Ulafala lost, Roman's got it, that the next big thing to put them back ahead would go after Cody Rhodes in the WWE Championship. Who's going to stop him? Who's going to stop him? Roman's out. Punk and Rollins got their thing going on. They're all on Raw. So it was a right way to bring him back and introduce him back to the show. Does this mean we get Cody and Solo at the Elimination Chamber? Looks like it to me. You're not going to have Cody Rhodes wrestle at fucking Skydome at the Elimination Chamber, or I should say, you're not going to have the Elimination Chamber at Skydome and not have Cody on the show. It's going to be 40,000 fucking people there. It's a big show. Cody's going to be on the show. Cody's going to defend the championship. Gunther's not defending his championship at Elimination Chamber. Cody Rhodes is going to defend his title against Solo Sikoa. That's what it looks like. Now, does this mean that The Rock is pulling the strings? That's a possibility. Does this mean no Rock? Could be no Rock. Does Solo go after the WWE title? Fail, which we know he will. Then get kicked out because Jacob Fatu is going to see him lose again. Meanwhile, he's got to watch Solo lose. They kick him out. Solo is all by himself, and we get Solo and Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania. I don't know why anybody would be interested and invested in that, as Solo Sikoa would probably have to go back to being a babyface and join Roman. I don't know who's going to buy into that. Jacob versus Solo. Sure. I would honestly, listen, I would pivot. If this has something to do with The Rock, fantastic. We get Rock and Cody. It's the way it should be. Jacob Fatu, I mean, you tease something with Damian Priest. You have Jacob Fatu and Damian Priest go one-on-one. Solo Sikoa, I don't know what the fuck you do with Solo Sikoa. I don't. Have him go back to the bloodline. Have him go back inside with Roman with his brothers. That's what I would do. Meanwhile, McIntyre, you pivot him into something with Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. That's what I would do. Does it have anything to do with The Rock? Maybe, but I'm going to say probably not. It's either that or Solo Fatu. I genuinely can't think of anything else because nothing else makes sense. Nothing else makes sense. They're not just going to do this as a one-off and then not have it go anywhere. It's got to be leading to something. What is that something? It's either Solo Fatu or Cody Rock. That's it. That's it. That's the way they decided to go off the air. So they went off the air with the cliffhanger. I'm interested to see what the fuck he's doing back and if we get Cody and Solo at the Elimination Chamber. And the biggest question is why. They need to reveal that next week. What they also need to do next week is give us the 2 championship matches from the Rumble winners. Jey needs to announce he's wrestling Gunther, and Charlotte needs to announce that she's wrestling Tiffany. Enough of this fucking lollygagging. Enough of this fucking, I'm going to wait. No, just give me the fucking match. We all know where it's going. Just announce it already. SmackDown. It is what it is, man. It's a 3-hour show. It's too long. Too long of a show. Not much going on. Not much interest. But we got the cliffhanger of Solo Sikoa. Why is he back? Hopefully we find out next week. Thank you guys for joining me on the post show tonight. We're going to get into your super chats. If you guys want to get your super chats in, get them on in, man. It's a great way to support the show. Is the PlayStation Network still down? I'd like to know if it's still down, because it's either I'm going to hop on PlayStation for an hour before I go to bed, or after the stream is over, I'm going to go right to bed. Which is it? Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. We got more content coming this weekend. Thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes tonight on the SmackDown post. Once again, we're sponsored by Z Biotics. Let's get to these super chats. Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. I hope you had a great birthday, my friend. Yeah, I had a very relaxing day, bro. Appreciate it. Gabriel Boss. TK is making Collision on par level with Dynamite, so it would be appropriate to start reviewing Saturday as storylines are developing over there as well. No. No. Collision is a waste of everyone's time. The show sucks. Ali with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD, just want to say, which match you're looking forward to this year at WrestleMania, which I know we got a long way to build up. Whatever CM Punk is going to be a part of. Hardcore Kevin with a $2 super chat. JD versus Big Boom AJ at WrestleMania 41. Take my money. Yeah, the Costco guys are pieces of shit, man. Fucking guy was on a video wearing a WWE replica belt. Meanwhile, Tony Khan gave him TV time on his show and has another match signed for him to perform in. If I'm Tony Khan, I'm not doing business with the fucking Costco guys ever again. Ali with a 5. Hey, JD, if Aleister Black did come back to the WWE, which he is, would you have seen him go up against Penta? That could be the WrestleMania match. That could be the WrestleMania match. It could be Aleister Black versus Penta, as Gable is going to go find somebody that is in the dark arts. Captain Solo with a $2 super chat. Jimmy Uso, the Marty Jannetty of the Usos. No, I would not go that far. Johnny Boy Vaccaro with a $5 super chat. Happy belated birthday. Wishes to our OTS Tribal Chief. JD, check out the song by Phoenix, or the song Phoenix by Scandroid. Sounds like a banger, brother. I never heard of them. What type of music are we talking about? Beyond the Script with a $9.99. I hate Charlotte Flair. He also says with another follow-up $9.99. WWE is letting go of talent. By the way, Melo took 10 minutes to beat Tozawa. Great. Happy birthday, JD. This was before the stream, obviously, at 10:30. Thank you, Beyond the Script, for the $20 in Super Chat. Hardy Punk Steel Cage 09 with a $2 Super Chat. Missing that extra from the Motor City Machine Guns. Sadly, not clicking yet. No, they'll get there. They'll get there. Just like the Profits, they need something tweaked. I don't know what that is yet. Hardy Punk Steel Cage 09 with a $5 Super Chat. Remember Punk telling Cody that something snapped after 300 days of his reign? How many days into his reign are we in? This is next level foreshadowing. Why, Punk is a master storyteller, bro. Michelle with a $5 Super Chat. If we are getting KO Sammy, will one move to the other brand? And maybe they have Roman move to Raw if he's feuding with Seth and Punk. Cody solo, why? Yeah, Sammy's going to end up on SmackDown. There'll be a trade. Maybe trade for Melo. Melo goes to Raw, Sammy comes to SmackDown. I'm done with Melo on SmackDown. There's nothing for him on SmackDown. He's wrestled everyone on SmackDown, and they've done nothing with him. The Joker's voice with a $5 Super Chat. Drew McIntyre and Alexa Bliss make SmackDown more interesting. Blair being released sucks. Never given a shot. At least no more pure fusion collective. OTS is the best. Thank you, Jokers. Gary Gordon with a $5 Super Chat. Releases galore, yet stale Miz lives on. Bro, Miz has a job for life. He ain't going anywhere. I don't know why anybody thought The Miz would be released. Hardy Punk Steel Cage with a 2. Drew back-to-back chamber wins for further delusion. Tony Brown, $5 Super Chat. You might disagree, JD, but a shark couldn't devour Alexa Bliss quicker than me. Oh, my goodness, Tony. It's all right, Tony. You can keep Alexa. I got Stephanie Vaquer. Arcade the Hedgehog with a $10 Super Chat. JD, AEW is like a school, and the students want to transfer to the WWE school with the better principal, and Tony is expelling his students. Also, where's the Mortal Kombat theme you used to play in the intro? I have it. There's just other songs I like better right now. AEW is like a school? No, AEW is more like a prison. Hardy Punk Steel Cage with a 2, a 2, and a 5. Circle of Evil Mania promo package now. Trips. Solo as a new enforcer for Jacob Rock. Jay. And Royal Rumble under-delivered because I expected some swerve reveals. I understand the slow build towards Mania, but I need some shenanigans to keep my patience. We're only in February. We got 2.5 months. We'll be kicking it into gear for sure. M. James with a 5. Everyone doesn't like the idea of Logan Paul versus Cena at WrestleMania, but I get why Cena getting his first win in years over Paul would sort of be great. I think that's the match. I think doing Punk and Cody over Cody and Cena is the right way if we're not going to include The Rock. But if we do Cody and Cena at Mania this year, I think that is a huge mistake. I do. I think that's an awful move. M. James, thank you, brother. Richard Cohn with a 5. Hey, JD, a late happy birthday to you. The SmackDown was okay. It's better than that stupid AEW, he says. Thank you, Richard. Michael Krause with the $2 Super Chat. We are here because of you, JD. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Michael. Hardy Punk Steel Cage with a 2. Charbot talks about unserious women. Hypocrite. Charlotte is unserious about making the division better. Charlotte is only serious about Charlotte. Trey Powell with a $4.99. Really hope they do Reigns versus Rollins at Mania. Roman needs the W from the PTSD Rollins gave him. I would be okay with that one-on-one. I really would. Ryan Fairburn with a new membership. Thank you, brother. Anthony King with a 20. Happy belated birthday, JD. Much love to you and the OTS family. Not today, Jay with 29 months. Happy 29 months, JD. Thank you, Jay. Hardy Punk Steel Cage with a 2. Vegas meetup. Showcase of the Immortals, including JD. I'm not going to Vegas. I'm staying right here in New York, and I'm covering the show better than everybody, man. I need to be home. I can't do Mania on the road. 6 hours away. I had an Airbnb booked. Canceled it this week. Captain Solo with a $5 super chat. When is Zoe Stark joining Sonya Deville on the unemployment line? She has the charisma of a wet paper towel. Shawn Michaels and Triple H love Zoe Stark. She ain't going nowhere. Richard Cohn with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD, a late happy birthday wish. I'm mad because Charlotte Flair won the Royal Rumble. She doesn't deserve it. Listen, Richard, there's a lot of people that feel that same way. Sidro. We got a 5, a 2, and a 2. Wife got mad at husband and told him get out. As he left, she yells, "Hope you die a long, slow, painful death." He turned and said, "So you want me to stay?" You know, I always, it's like a married with children type of joke. I always got a kick out of that sense of humor, man. You know? Sidro says, what do you call iPhone that isn't kidding? Dead Siri us. And why astronaut break up with girlfriend? He needed space. Oh my. Fucking stupid, man. Brendan Watson with a $4.99. I'm kind of sad about Blair being released. I just met her at the Royal Rumble last week, and hopefully she'll do good wherever she goes. She'll be fine. She's going to be fine. Riley with a $1.99. Book WrestleMania 25 with the added AEW wrestlers. WrestleMania 25. Why are we booking WrestleMania 25? WrestleMania 25 was largely terrible outside of Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. Hardy Punk Steel Cage with a 5. Is Solo in the same abusive spot as the Usos? Does he also need the help from his brothers to embrace his loyal intentions towards his tribe? I don't know. Again, I don't know. Hopefully we get some answers next week with the way the show went off the air. Riley with $1.99. Pretty Deadly versus Rico. And Haas is goated, little bro. I think Riley's had a little bit too much to drink at the bar. Hardy Punk Steel Cage with a $2 super chat. How to split Judgment Day. Dom is ready to move on. Dominic versus Finn Balor. Could be headed towards a WrestleMania match. I don't know. The John Wick of Spider Hunters. $10 super chat. JD, what if they do Cody versus Jey at WrestleMania 41 and Jey beats Cody for the title and Cody goes heel? I don't think The Rock is wrestling Cody. He was drinking with him. Plus, did you notice Cody's logo changed? Nate, Jey Uso is not challenging Cody Rhodes for the WWE title. He's not. And MGM Bowling with a $4.99. If what we've seen today is true, fuck Bear Boulder. Yes, indeed. Fuck Bear Boulder. Absolutely. And Brendan Watson with a $4.99. And happy belated birthday, JD. Hope you had a great one. Brendan, thank you very much, man. Appreciate you. Guys, we're about to get out of here, man. SmackDown for the 7th of February is in the books. It is what it is, man. 3-hour SmackDowns are not working for me, bro. They're not working for me, man. Jump into the dark horse and get the hell out of here. You know, Solo Monster may be in the dark horse come Sunday, man. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but Solo Monster may find himself on Twitter in the dark horse. What do I mean by that? You got to keep an eye on the social. Anyway, guys, thank you for a great stream. Appreciate all the love. Hit that thumbs up. Go follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications, and keep an eye out for the contents this weekend. And I will see you guys right back here live on Monday after Monday Night Raw right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.